and we're now in front of the water cannon truck. And at my back, there are a group of people chanting out slogans with five demand, not one less. I would like you to see the water truck first. So here's the water truck. It has been standing by here for more than 10 minutes without any action. And okay, so it seems like they're doing. Okay, the police have fired out the water cannon. It's not the first time today. Hello there. We're now in Hong Kong Causeway Bay. People came here in response to the 1st of July because it's the Hong Kong Establishment Day, and people are chanting out slogan. And it's the first day that since the national security law has come into effect. So, hello everyone. I'm Clara, and then so I'll move forward. Sorry. So the police have fired out the water cannon truck, and it's not the first day they have used the water cannon already. They have also used the tear gas and pepper balls, and to disperse the crowd. People went on the street today because the national security bill has came into effect today. So let's keep on moving to see. Okay. So in my back, there is also some police cars as well. Oh my god. So the police have used the water cannon truck to disperse the crowd and clear out the road. So this is actually considered illegal right now because of the national security bill, as well as they did not issue a license for this protest. So that is why they have fired off various kinds of crowd dispersed weapons. Cool. So we're now in Causeway Bay, and all the journalists have ran to the corner because seems that protesters have ran to that way. So at the back of the water cannon truck, there's a line of riot police standing by as well. So this rally actually started at, originally planned to start at 2 p.m. Hong Kong time. Um, but but the police have been standing by near the area since around 10 a.m. today, and it's now around 6 p.m. already. The police have taken action really early today. They have started to take action at around uh, at around 11 or so, or 12. There's a lot of people already got arrested, and they have also fired out various kinds of crowd dispersed weapons to clear out the crowd. And today, they mainly concentrate on using this water cannon truck. We have 3 with us, and it's moving around the Hong Kong Island area. So, and also the pepper spray. So today, currently we can't see any protesters right now. But just now there were many protesters chanting out their slogans with the hand gesture of 5 and 1, representing 5 demands, not 1 less. So across at the very end, as you can see, there's a line over there. Those are the riot police. But the protesters have ran away. Of course, I'm afraid because of the national security bill right now, a lot of occupation has actually do not have much freedom already, including as the journalists, as well as the teachers as well. So, of course, I'm afraid, but I think it will be a good thing to let more people know about what's happening in Hong Kong and how this national security bill have affected us. And what's the reaction of the Hong Kong people? And obviously, the Hong Kong people are not happy without it. They're totally not happy without it. So that's why they have went on the street today. So, as you can see, the riot police have moved forward near us. But currently, around this area, I'll let you see, you cannot see a lot of protesters right now because they have cleared out the area as soon as the water truck fired out water. So, well, let me talk about briefly about the national security law. So the president Xi in China has signed a law just over a month after the bill was first introduced by the CCP. And this law can actually empower the authorities to crack down on opposition to Beijing, risking deeper rifts with Western governments that have warned about the erosion of freedom in the territories. And this law came into effect last night at 11 p.m. Right after the CCP has their meeting. And they passed the law within in a month. So to us, that's actually quite ridiculous, and a lot of Hong Kong people are not happy without it because that does not follow the normal judicial procedure in Hong Kong. Yeah, and then thank you, Aim. Oh well, but that's our job. So I hope you guys can know more about what's happening in Hong Kong and about the situation, as well as the national security bill. Even though Hong Kong is a really small city. So, and because of the national security, thank you. So because of the national security bill, because of the because it has come into effect last night. So immediately after the CCP meeting, a lot of prominent young activists has both out of politics. Example, the famous Joshua Wong, and a few groups also disband, like the Demosisto, and some business distance themselves from the pro-democracy movement. So it seems like okay. So it seems like the police have now started to take action, even though, like, from what I can see right now, there's only journalists. Not sure why they're moving in, but we can take a look and see. Thank you. So, so today is actually a very remarkable day because last year today, the protesters have crashed the government building, and today is actually the Hong Kong Establishment Day. So that's why there's a lot of people come on the street to protest, and the police are actually asking all the journalists to walk faster. So today is actually the first day since the national security law has passed. Oh. And as you can see, the torch is actually. Oh gosh. So we're now in Causeway Bay. Causeway Bay is actually like the downtown of Hong Kong, in the Hong Kong Island side. So many will come to here for shopping, and their gathering today is they gather here using the excuse of shopping in the Sogong Mall, which is like the outlet in Hong Kong. So the new law is the National Security Bill, which has came into action, came into effect last night at 11 p.m. So this bill has actually only been introduced like 1 month ago, and why Hong Kong people are so against this law? It's because it could empower the authorities to crack down on opposition to Beijing, risking deeper rifts with Western governments that have warned about the erosion of freedoms in the territories. And this could defer speech, protests, news media critical of the Chinese government, threatening the territory's independent press and democratic opposition. Okay. So that because it would cause Hong Kongers lost their freedom. So that is why the Hong Kong people are so against this law. But this law got passed last night and was signed by the President Xi. And because of this law, actually a lot of activists has bowed out of politics, including Joshua Wong, who has been one of the most famous pro-democracy activists since the Umbrella Revolution a few years ago. And some pro-democracy businesses have tried to to distance themselves between. Um, yes, so it's basically do what the China say, and you can't say anything that oppose them or threaten their repetition, etc. So, I'm seeing that a lot of journalists are walking over there. So let's take a look and see. So today, the police force have fired out quite a lot of crowd dispersed weapon, and that is why at the beginning of the live stream you can see that I'm actually wearing my helmet just in case, even though I don't have a gas mask on me right now. But the police force have fired out a lot of crowd dispersed weapons when they see protesters started to chant out slogans. They have also rushed into one of the shopping mall called Times Square and fired out tear gas. They have also arrested a lot of people. Okay, seems like there's nothing special about here. So let's move back. And on top of fired out weapons, because of the national security bill, they could arrest people for joining these kind of protests. So they have arrested a lot of people, including some district councilors, in this protest. So actually, it's very dangerous. No, in Hong Kong we are free to use the internet just like you guys, unlike in Shenzhen or other provinces. So we could use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Apps, and Reddit, these kind of social media platforms. And we do not have any cyber blockage. So we can also find a lot of history about China, like the June 4th massacre thing. So they're asking journalists to move back. So it seems like they're going to take some action. But at this moment, for me, I can't see any protesters around. So we're not sure. So they have cleared out the main road here, using just now the water truck and blockage. So this orange ribbon is used by the police to block like journalists or other protesters or anyone from moving into that area. Yeah, so that's why everyone was so angry about, because this protest is considered to be illegal. Like in the past few months, they can use the restriction on the COVID-19, saying that we cannot gather for more than like 50 people in a group, to charge people for going on to protest or rallies. But right now, because of the national security bill, they have now actually they can use this national security bill to arrest people. So that's why a lot of people are angry about it and also fear about this bill. I've talked to some civilians this morning, asking about their opinions on the national security bill. A lot of people have considered to move out of Hong Kong because, like, as you can see, there the freedom are not there is only a limited of freedom after the bill came into effect, and some even consider Hong Kong is dead. So some even say that this is not the Hong Kong that it used to be, and many are very sad about it. Oh, we're not sure if this is going to be a war, but this protest have started for over a year already. So a year ago, we have the anti-extradition bill protest. So that's why you can always hear the protesters in Hong Kong chanting out the 5 demand, not one less slogan. So that's about the that started from the anti-extradition bill in last year's June. So after the COVID-19, seems like more people are willing to come on the street to protest again. So just like today, there are thousands of people came on the street to protest on the national security law. So yes. So some like I've talked to some of the some Hong Kong civilians. Some consider this as a revolution, and it's a stage of revolution. So they hope that after these protests, everything will go back to normal, and everyone will have their freedoms back again. So these police have actually stationed early in the morning, starting early in the morning at around 10 a.m. While the whole protest was planned to start at 2 p.m. So we're now, Hong Kong time is around 6:30. Okay, seems that more police have gotten on the ground. Not sure what are they going to do. They have shut down the whole street. So it seems like they're going to the other side of the bridge. So we're now in Hong Kong. We are now in Hong Kong Causeway Bay. Oh hi. Can you as you can see, we're now in Hong Kong, and we're now on the 1st of July. So people have come on the street in response to the National Security Bill issue. Came into action last night at 11 p.m. And it's actually a very special day in Hong Kong because it's the establishment day of Hong Kong, and last year today the protesters have break their way into the government building. So it's actually a very important day in Hong Kong, and this is actually the first day since the National Security Bill has passed. Yeah, that's what a lot of Hong Kong people are thinking, that China is trying to take back the control of Hong Kong, even though originally we have 50 years of under the one country two system. A lot of people also consider that the year 2020 has become 2047. So why is 2047 so important? It's actually because it should be the year that Hong Kong returns back to China under China's control. So as you can see at the back with the blue um, sparkling lights, you can see that there is a lot of police cars standing by right now with a lot of riot police. Uh, so I'm trying to cross the road and see. Excuse me. There's a lot of riot police standing by, as well as police car. We're not sure where have the protesters gone because they're using a tactic called the water, so you can't actually um, picture them. Like they will gather in one place, and when the police arrive, they will immediately leave. So we're not sure where has the protesters gone, but right now the police are standing by right now. Here, a bunch of riot police actually. So unlike the protests in the past month, during the during the extreme level of the COVID-19, this protest today has thousands of Hong Kong people participated, whereas in the past there's only maybe using my observation around a few hundreds only. So this is considered as a big thing in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong people are trying to express their opinion towards the national security bill since they are not happy about it. And that is why they have run to the street today. And since the bill will actually suppress the freedom of speech, freedom of gathering, and freedom of the freedom for the news media. So yeah, that's why they have come on the street today. Let's try to move to another place, even though they have blocked the area. So as you can see, there's tons of police cars standing by. The police have stationed over here and blocked the road. Even though the protesters are nowhere to be found. So maybe I can talk about like some of the major protest slogans that the Hong Kong protesters use. So the five demands, not one less, is the slogan that they have been chanting since the anti-extradition bill protest started in June 2019. So it's been a year already. And also maybe like police brutality and so these kind of slogans are usually chanted out by the protesters. And also one is the Hong Kong dependency. These are considered to be the most popular slogans. So earlier today in the afternoon, so protesters while walking down on the street. Also, as you can see on the floor, there's filled with yellow paper. So these are actually what the Chinese culture will burn as like for their ancestors, like some kind of money for them. So they have thrown out a lot of bunch of these kind of fake money. So let's move the back on the street to see. So you can see it's crowded with police cars and riot police. We can go back on the road and see. Oh. So since it's the summer in Hong Kong, so it's very warm right now. And protesters are nowhere to be found because unlike the strategies that they have used last year, they have come to use a new one. So they are trying to cover up that they are protesters by wearing various kinds of colors of clothing and yeah, so as to so as to hide their identity of being protesters. Since these kind of protests are considered to be illegal right now, given to the national security bill. Yep. So earlier today, as you can see in my previous broadcast or in Rachel's broadcast or Catherine's, protesters have been going through some kind of small streets instead of the major ones, and have been taking down different areas for their protest. And they majorly they are concentrated in this Hong Kong island. So we're now in Causeway Bay. Some of the protesters are in Wan Chai and in Tin Hau, different areas. Quarry Bay, sorry. Is it Quarry Bay? Yeah. So we're now outside of the Times Square. I'm just going to move around and see if there's anything happening, because for me right now, I think it's really peaceful. We cannot see any protesters at this moment, but let's just sit back a moment and walk around and see. So if nothing is going to happen in later in 1 or 2 minutes, I think I will turn this broadcast off, and I'll keep you guys posted using our Reddit platform or also in HAPS. So at this moment, I don't think there's anything anything going on right now. So I'm just going to turn this off, and I will keep you guys posted later today if there is anything happening.